So what's up guys, this is Shivam and let's talk about DeFi exchanges. We've already talked about decentralized finance and its relation to traditional finance. DeFi exchanges are basically exchanges that facilitate that P2P transfer, that facilitate that decentralized transfer of assets between two different parties. Could be me and you, could be me and somebody else, could be you and somebody else, and somebody else and somebody else as well. Now, DeFi exchanges such as, of course, there are a lot of these, and this is not an exhaustive list, such as Uniswap, right? What does Uniswap do? So number one, it allows peer-to-peer transfer of different assets. So let's say I want to get my Ethereum, sell it to you for USDC. There's going to be no middleman, right? Or there's going to be no centralized party facilitating that transfer, and hence we use Uniswap. Number two, they allow for us to hold our own cryptocurrency until the point we sell it to the other person, and then that person's crypto just directly gets transferred to our wallet. So it's a self-custody thing, right? DeFi exchanges, they promote self-custody in a way that we could use MetaMask, Phantom, blah, blah, blah. There are tons of DeFi wallets. So we could use any one of those DeFi wallets that's supported by that specific DeFi exchange and make that exchange. So we don't need to give our cryptocurrency to somebody else to hold off, right? And you might have seen in the recent couple of months that what has happened with a lot of these centralized exchanges. Because they were facing financial troubles, they've had to pause deposit and withdrawals. So a lot of people who had actually their own crypto put into that exchange, they're not able to withdraw it or trade with that just because there's a centralized party involved and they've signed that custodian agreement with them. So DeFi exchanges, practically they solve a couple of different problems. One is they allow for peer-to-peer exchange of assets, maybe even borrowing and lending protocols like Aave, which we've talked about in a previous video. Number two, they allow to do all of this in a decentralized manner, in a non-custodial manner through a DeFi wallet, whatever wallet they support at that moment of time. So that solves a lot of problems for people in the crypto industry. It makes things easier. It also makes things easier from a running smart contracts to process a lot of these transactions level, right? So staking pools, all of those things, they open up because they are on a decentralized platform. They open up a little bit more. The control over them from a peer-to-peer standpoint improves a little bit as compared to using a staking pool that's on a centralized exchange point of view. Now, both have their pros and cons. Of course, as with pros, there are cons. An interesting con that I can mention is security and holding of my own assets is 100% in my control. So if I forget my seed phrase or if I misplace my seed phrase, my funds are gone. Nobody on this planet can actually help me recover those funds unless they have the exact seed phrase, which is of course very, very improbable, and it makes things a little bit complicated, right? From a security standpoint. So that's one con. Do let me know in the comments below what other cons do you think a DeFi exchange can have over a centralized exchange. We'd love to hear those viewpoints as well. As always, guys, if you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of the Web3 School.